Hi, I'm Jamie Schmotzer. I'm an instructor with the Old World Alliance. It's Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day. Smirnoff Ice, red, white, and berry. Probably catch some flack for that, but ask me if I care. So today I'm going to do a video on my spring 2020 Hidden Woodsmen Haversack loadout. And I'm going to take a little bit of time to explain some of what's going on with this. So from the outside, there, I'm not a big patch guy, but I really like this one. So Rachel Wayne, my camera woman, what do you think this is all about? What is that?
It looks like a bunny smoking a pipe.
Why is the bunny smoking a pipe?
Because who doesn't want to smoke a pipe?
Because who doesn't want to smoke a pipe? That's right. No.
Well, I don't know.
Because if you're prepared, you have time to smoke a pipe.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's the smoking rabbit. Now, let me show you what I have on the side. This is what I have all year round on this side. This is the Hidden Woodsman folding saw pouch. I've got a Baco Laplander. You could fit an appropriate sized silky saw in there if you want. I prefer Bacos, and I just keep that there all the time. I don't prefer to have my Baco on my belt. I prefer to have it on my haversack. It's just me. Do what you want. Now here is a little, I don't know if that's a 9mm mag pouch or whatever, but this is my emergency fire kit. This is a fire steel from firesteel.com. And with a little Night Eyes S-Beaner, I have this steel striker. And this is from Mark and Helen at Beaver Bushcraft in the UK. This is a steel striker, but it also, see if you can get a picture of that, throws some awesome sparks. But I can also use it to do flint and steel. So it's dual purpose. And along with that, I have an absolutely, get that in good lighting, magnificent piece of fat wood. You see that glisten with resin? And so my emergency fire kit is just this little stick of fat wood with a 5" by 1/2" firesteel.com ferro rod and that steel striker from Beaver Bushcraft. Okay, so that's this side. That is on here all year round. That's nothing different, nothing new. On this side, if we start here, I put this ring on there. See, it's not going to go that way, so it's only going to stay within here. And I've got some hand sanitizer, 'tis the season. And that's on a little carabiner, so I've always got it. You take it off, and then I've got these gloves. Now, I don't usually have, although you could use this for starting fires too, but I don't normally take hand sanitizer into the woods on my haversack, but you know, with the pandemic, I've got it. But I do always want to have gloves. So this also is nothing new from the fall-winter season. I just keep that clipped onto here. Try to get that out of the way. Right here, okay, just looped around. This is a Hidden Woodsman tinder pouch. Let's see, we'll do it on this side so I don't get it in my, there's just a little bit down at the bottom. That's the real fine stuff that I'll use at the middle of a bird's nest or tinder bundle. So I try to keep that down at the bottom. But usually if I'm going out, right now I'm at my sister's house in her woods, I'm gonna collect tinder pretty much every time I go anywhere. So I always like to have this Hidden Woodsman tinder pouch just looped right around there like so it's always available, okay? Now, down here, I have, you press there and it just opens up, and I've got some cordage. It's not a whole lot of cordage, but it is enough for me to hang my haversack if I need to around a tree or whatever. It's not much, but It's nice to have at least that much, so lock that back in. This right here is a dummy cord that I will show you what's attached to it later, but just while we're on this side I'll show you. Here I have a Maxpedition dump pouch, so if I find a lot of good tinder, this just rolls out and folds out, and it's pretty massive. I mean, you could put an Nalgene bottle in here if you wanted to, and then this just velcros down so it's out of the way. It's got this little cord lock on there, you beautiful thing, right? And if I'm not using it, you just fold it over and roll it up, and it velcros and it's out of the way. So I actually have 2 tinder pouches just ready to go, one built in and one up here. Okay, that's the outside, I think. Yeah, we're good. So I'm going to start to open this up, and I'm going to show you what's dummy corded on. So I'm going to go into that zippered pouch up front, and we have a Swiss Army knife Hercules model that I bought in Geneva, Switzerland. And interesting thing about this one is that it has some pliers. And I also have, I think it's called Firefly, but that's a mini ferro rod right there. I got this on the Kickstarter or whatever thing many years ago, and it fits right in there. Be careful with these, they're very easy to break. That glows in the dark. Nice to have if I ever needed it in an all-out emergency, but I hope I never have to use it. It'll probably break. So in here, this is something I made myself. I call it the Woodsman Essential Oil Kit. And it's basically, this is my boo-boo kit. So on top, I've got a Benadryl. I do not like going out in the woods without Benadryl because I've been stung 20 plus times out in the woods all at once. Benadryl is a good thing to have. So in here, this is from a -33 sock, and my wife sewed that up. Got some Band-Aids in the bottom. These are from China. They have a hemostatic agent built in to help to stop bleeding. I got those on the bottom. And in here, -33, I have this is a first aid blend, and it's got a little roller ball. So if I get, well, why not? Let's put some on there. Can you see the glisten? Right there. Maybe put some on there. See it glisten? It just rolls right on there. That is a first aid blend. Let's see what I got next. Next, I've got lavender. I use that for burns mostly, although some people like to use that under their nose to help them sleep at night. But it's lavender and tamanu oil, which also is good for burns. Then this one is peppermint. I really like peppermint. After a long night around a campfire, my nose and lungs get kind of messed up, so I'll just put some under my nose to help me breathe better. And this last one is Dr. Klaus's liniment, and that's basically an herbal antiseptic like a Bactine or something like that. And anyway, this is my Woodsman Essential Oil Kit. Now, the Dr. Klaus's liniment is not an essential oil, but anyway. So I've got that in here because I think it's always good to have a basic boo-boo kit. You don't need to go crazy. But all we've got is those 4 bottles, plus a couple 4 Band-Aids, and the Benadryl in case I get stung by 20, 30 bees. That's always fun. And I keep it in here because I haven't fully tested those little bottles yet. I used to use different bottles, so just in case they break, I've got them in there. And that's all I have in this front pouch, okay? The Victorinox Hercules and the Woodsman Essential Oil Kit. Now here in the slip one that doesn't have a zipper, not a big fan of DEET anymore, but I love Sawyer picaridin. And so that's my choice. 'Tis the season. I don't need that in the fall so much, or certainly not the winter. But I want that to be easy access. I can just grab it. One thing I'm kind of a stickler about personally is having Kleenex. So I've got 2 of those. I just like to have it. You never know when you need it. Better to have it. And you can wipe your butt with it if you need to, but usually I just have it for my nose. And let's see what else I have. So this is the dog bone draw knife. Let me rearrange that for a moment. This is the dog bone draw knife from Reptile. I got it in the December 2019 Alpaca box by Creek Stewart. And the sheath was kind of junky, so I had JC at Messer Custom Leather make me a very nice sheath for this draw knife. And it just fits very nicely in the bottom there. And if I need to make curls or I'm doing some sort of craft, I've just got that in there to kind of play around with. So let me put that back in there. And that's all I've got in that second pouch. So let's get to the main compartment. The main compartment, I have a Hydra Flask, and there's a Snow Peak titanium, I think it's a Snow Peak 700 titanium cup, and that just nests. But here's the thing, this is double walled. Here the ice. I'm a big guy, I overheat easily, and so when it's going to be spring and summer, like today it's 80 some degrees, I want ice water. I don't need to be able to boil water. I want ice water. Hydration is so crucial, and to me it helps to cool me. So in my spring, summer kit, I've got a double walled Hydra Flask with ice water. Now here, I'm going to get the haversack out of the way for a minute. That's fine. This is a Hidden Woodsmen Sammy coffee bag, and in this I have 3 food tins. You can put whatever you want in them, but this is my video. I'm showing you what I have in them. So you can see I've already eaten some of that. We've got cashews, pineapple, some raisins, chocolate chips, and Hershey's Kisses. I think that's it. And that makes a good trail mix for me. It makes me happy. I can get a little sugar if I need to. And it's all good. Now in the next one, I've got beef jerky. This is teriyaki. I like it. And as you can see, I've been eating some of that too. And just if I need to nibble on something, I've got it. Down at the bottom, I have a full tin of my trail mix. So that's just down there as a reserve. And it's a hot day today. Nothing's really melted in there or anything. But 3 of these 16-ounce tins will fit in here very, very nicely. And so essentially what I'm doing is the main compartment of my haversack is actually being used in a more traditional way, which is a haversack was a bread bag. That's what haversack is. It's a bread bag. And so just like in the Civil War and even before then, the haversack was traditionally used to keep your rations in. It's kind of what I'm doing here. The main pouch has these 2 things: ice water and snacks. Okay, now the last thing that I have in here, is actually using it right now. If you look at the ground here, I've got this, this is 2 layers of canvas, waxed canvas. And of course the ground is wet and muddy kinda, so I put that underneath this little Civil War table so that I don't get the bottoms wet and muddy. And what I do with that is I keep it in this back pouch, right? This back pouch of the haversack. I will just put that waxed canvas utility mat, if you will, in the back. And that way I've always got a sit pad or whatever. Start to put this stuff back in here. And it's just a really useful camp thing to have. It's just, you know, waxed canvas, your sit pad, utility mat sort of thing. And that's about it. Got my water, put that back in there. Put my food back in. And get that going. So more or less, I'm actually using the haversack as what it was traditionally intended, as a haversack, a food bag. And there you go. So if I'm going to be needing other equipment, I'm going to have it on my person. I'm going to have it on my belt kit. I might have a backpack. I might have my mother canteen carrier, which would then free up some room. I could get the Hydra Flask out of here and into that. Whatever the case may be, but this is my current loadout for spring 2020 for the Hidden Woodsmen Haversack. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you like this video, you know, hit like, subscribe, and all that jazz. But leave me some comments about what you think of what I've got in here. And if you've got a Hidden Woodsmen Haversack also, let me know what you've put in there for your spring loadout and why you put the stuff in there. And I'll see you next time.